Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build a model kit. I'm also here to hang out with all of you. I'm going to start things off by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego to the site, the Tier 2 Blue emote in chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi or use other people's emotes. Or if you feel like being a lurker, you can go ahead and lurk. That's also okay. Vash is here. Welcome, Vash. It's a Saturday night the mood is right for working on a model kit and talking with all of you. Aristophan is here. Hello, Aristophan. Ghost Valve's here. Hello, Ghost Valve. Welcome, everybody. We've got a great crew right off the bat. Now, you may know that AEW, All Elite Wrestling, is running a pay-per-view tonight. I watched the pre-show, and I watched the first two matches, because thankfully the second match ended right before the stream started up. So I was able to watch two of those matches. I will go back and I will watch the rest of the pay-per-view tomorrow, or even late tonight, perhaps, but most likely tomorrow. I might end up watching Tokujoshi Pro Wrestling tonight. Because there's pay-per-view tonight, there wasn't Collision, which is normally on Saturday evenings, and generally after the stream, I go and watch the West Coast feed of Collision as it airs, you know, with that delay. But I won't have that tonight. So I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to be watching wrestling all weekend. You know how it goes. We'll talk about all of the things that happened at All Out on Monday. We'll do the full breakdown of the pay-per-view and all that. Tonight we'll just talk about other things. In the second hour, we'll talk about a manga that I have been reading. We'll talk about an anime that I have been watching. We'll do a deep dive into the latest episode of Dungeon People. And tonight we're working on the Zaku 3. Before we get into that, I do want to just quickly mention we are currently at 27 subscribers. The goal is to get to 40. I shut up at 40. I should also mention that it's September. If you are not a subscriber to the channel and you are considering doing so, now would be a great time to do it because you would save money. Remember to not use the Twitch app. Do it on the web. But from now from October 1st, 25% off new subs. Starting on the 12th, there's some you get bonus bits, or I get bonus bits, I should say. So it's like you're giving me more. And then at the very end of the month, there will be like a bonus for gifting subs. We've had no gifted subs this month. If you want to gift a sub, that is a way to support me. You can wait till the end of the month, or you can do it now. Going over the overhead camera, here is the legs and feet of the Zaku 3. That's right. This kit started with step 1 through 6 was building the legs, which is unusual. Generally, with a model kit, you would start with the chest and then the head, or maybe start with the head and work your way down. Generally, chest, sometimes head, then the other, then the arms, then the feet, then the legs, then the waist. And if a kit doesn't have a separate chest and waist or the torso, you just build the one unit, the one complete part there. And then backpack. Sometimes backpack after chest or along with chest, sometimes backpack after it. But generally, it's very rare to start with the legs. And you're like, oh, well, that's because you're working your way up. You start with the feet and you're going to build the waist next, right? No. Instructions tell me the next thing I want to build is the head. And after that, I don't even know. After that is the arms. This kit wants me to build feet, legs, head, arms, chest. No, it's part of the chest, waist, rest of the chest. Unreal. Oh no, I'm sorry. I apologize. I misspoke. The order for operations here is feet, legs, head, arms, backpack, waist, chest, weapons. This kit wants me to build the backpack before I build the chest. What a strange order. Very odd. But you know what? We'll do it. We are going to build a head, which does involve 2 stickers. Because this kit came in the year 2000. This is very telling of the time. Hey, Just Under Spicy, welcome. So you can see here, some high grades, very few high grades of the Zaku 2. And a lot of the master grades of the Zaku 2 will have a movable eye, because it's just got that one eye, the red eye that moves. In this case, it's 2 stickers. They could have themselves done 1 sticker, but instead they've done 2. And the first one of the steps is to apply this sticker to this. I am going to do it while it's on the paper, and then we will attach it to the face piece here, or we'll attach it to the piece that connects with the head, which is H. 19. This is G. This is H. Here's H19. There we go. H19 will be the piece that this connects to. I could apply the black sticker first and then the red dot on it. I'm going to try this. I don't know if this is going to work out. I might curse myself for doing this, but I'm going to try to apply the sticker onto the sticker and then remove the sticker and apply it onto this piece here. So we'll try that out. We'll see how that goes. Again, I don't know. I don't know if this is going to work out, if this was a mistake, but it's not that common, I will say, friends, to apply a sticker to a sticker. This is not a common occurrence. We'll do it a little off center because the way it's going to bend to go on there, and I think that will look okay. I say think because I have to remove the sticker now from the backing and look at it. Yeah, I think that'll be all right. And then we'll just apply the sticker here. And we'll do corner to corner. I had a pretty good couple days since our last stream. 2 days, I should say. Yeah, I went for a really long walk today because it had rained a bit yesterday and it was a little cooler than normal around here for this time of year, so I took advantage of that. There's a new thing in Pokemon Go. Look, statistically, you watching this after the fact, watching this live, statistically, you're not playing Pokemon Go anymore. You stopped playing Pokemon Go. There are people that play it, but statistically, of the viewers of mine, it's probably unlikely that many of you are still doing the thing. There are new spots that perked up there for like power to power up the Dino thing. I forget what it's called. What is it called? Dynamitize. I don't remember. I'm looking it up. I'm gonna launch Pokemon Go. But anyway, there's new things to get and new Pokemon to capture. They also put out the 3 starters of the second to last generation of Pokemon. I hatched some eggs while I was walking, apparently. Oh, there's a score bunny to catch. Yeah, I could catch a score bunny. What do they call this stuff? So there are new locations, and I'm collecting MP, Max Particles. I'm collecting MP from power spots, and then there are moves, and I have 1 Pokemon right now that can Dynamax. It can Dynamax, and I need to have enough stuff to... One thing that sucks about this is you can collect these points, which is good. It's good to collect them. That's fine. You can collect these points to power your stuff up, but also you need to use candies. And the Pokemon they gave me that Dynamaxes is a Wooloo. And I don't have a lot of Wooloo candy, so I can only do so much. Oh, there's a Wooloo. I'm sorry, folks. I'm going to catch this Wooloo because I really need this goddamn Wooloo candy. I need the candy. And then we're done with the stickers. I don't need this anymore. I don't need this anymore. We've applied the 2 stickers we needed, and I just caught the Wooloo that I need because I need Wooloo candy. There, I'm at 60 out of 100 with Wooloo candy. I'm on my way. And then you got the starters. Hopefully I'm going to turn those, starters. I'm going to evolve all those starters, and that'll be great. But right now, I got to get myself more Wooloo candy so that I can max out or increase the levels of one of my attacks with it. It's a whole thing. Anyway, the whole point of it with Pokemon Go, for me, is still encouraging me to go on walks because I do bike a lot, and I do think that that's very helpful. I have a bike that has a kit on it to make it a stationary bike, and that's in the garage, and that I get a lot of benefit out of using that. And I think it's a good call for me to use it, but that's not the same as getting out and moving around and exercising that way. I almost put this head together without putting the poly cap on there that I would need. So because I hatch eggs by walking and I find Pokemon to catch, it encourages me to continue to walk, which is good for me. I don't know if I've said this on stream. I tweeted about it, but I don't know if I've said this on stream. So if I have, my apologies. I've been stretching a lot more. That is a thing at age 44. I have found that stretching is a thing I need to do a lot more. And it's not because like, oh yeah, because I'm going for a run or whatever. It's like, no, I just don't want lower back pain. I sit at a chair too much throughout the day, and I need to make sure that I'm not feeling terrible. So the plan these days is, okay, so you can see the eye here. I put the eye kind of at center so you can still see it through there. I could have put it a little higher, and in fact I could maybe theoretically nudge it higher, although it's not on yeah, I could nudge this a little higher if I want to do that, like that. Yeah, all right, I did that. Just kind of nudge it higher because it is just, a sticker on a sticker. There, that looks pretty good. I'm going to panel line what I can here, and then I will continue to build this because I feel like some of this is going to be hard to get in there. So we'll use gray on this. So yeah, I've been stretching a lot, mostly, during the day, taking a break from being on the computer, getting up, taking a little walk, doing a stretch, before and after exercising, doing that. And then here's the new thing. Here's the thing I've never done before. I've never done this before. I'm stretching before bed. Again, not something I've ever thought about. I used to just be, well, I'm tired enough, I'll go to sleep. Or I'm tired, I want to cool off. I'm going to watch some TV or YouTube on my Chromecast in bed and then just fall asleep. But instead, what I've been doing lately is stretching. And David asked, does that help avoiding the morning calf cramp? So what my particular thing is, I'm sure actually that probably would. When I'm talking about stretching, I'm talking about doing stretches for my lower back specifically, because that's where I've had some pain, having that back pain. So I'm doing stuff I do a thing where I cross one arm and hold the armrest, and then my other arm goes here, and then I stretch like that. So I'm kind of holding against it, and I do the reverse. I get down on my hands and knees, and I'm moving my leg and rotating my hip, move my leg back and forth that way on my hands and knees. And then I get down in the downward dog position and kind of work my back that way. But what it means is that hopefully when I wake up in the morning, my back doesn't hurt, which is great. And I think part of it, honestly, the stretching has helped. I think the major thing is I'm trying not to, what I'm doing is I'm getting up from this chair, the chair I'm in right now. I'm stretching, and then I'm going to bed. Instead of what I did before, which was be in this chair, lay in bed in a weird position, and watch a bunch of YouTube on my TV with like my phone in my hand, and like I'm just kind of contorted oddly so that so I'm not dropping my phone in my face, but then I'm also like not laying like with enough back support. And I think like honestly that contributed a lot. The stretching is helping with the pain in my back because I haven't had it in like a week and a half, which is fucking rad. But it wasn't, I think the bad sleeping or the bad laying in bed was probably contributing to me waking up in pain. So yeah, I am, in general, feeling pretty fucking good about that shit. All right, so we got to build up this head here. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I'm 44. I would not consider myself to be in the best shape in the world. I am certainly overweight. I could certainly help out. I do, one thing I've done since my 20s, in my 20s, when I was about as heavy as I am now, before I lost some weight, I would notice that sometimes I would get up from from sitting on the subway bench, you know, because for those who don't know, my old job was in a theater, and I would be sitting on a stool, but I wasn't sitting with like good back support. I was kind of like on the edge of the stool because I would have to stand for many hours and then just kind of rest in the stool and then get up. And I was on my feet a lot. And I found that late at night, getting up from the subway bench and then going out of the subway, that my knees would start creaking. So for like 20 something years, or, you know, 15, 20 years, I have been doing exercises with my knees to try to reduce, if not prevent, a lot of knee pain, because of course I put a lot of weight on my legs. And that is something I've always done. The back pain was new. This was a new development in like the last 6 months. And so working on preventing that getting any worse has been nice as well. And we'll see. But David, I appreciate that. Yeah, you know, not being in pain, strangely enough, not being in pain feels great. Yeah, I've been trying to keep that alive and keep that going. But yeah, the hope is that it will benefit me, and then you know, bending at the knees instead of bending over at the waist, and being aware of how much I'm lifting. That is a thing. Like, I think I have to remember that I'm not the man I was 10 years ago or 20 years ago when it comes to how much weight I can lift and how often I can lift that weight. It's just important to remember that I have limits, and I have to be aware of those limits. I can't just strongman my way through things like I used to. The joke being that, oh, I don't have a six-pack, I have a keg, because I could muscle up some stuff. These days, I would not want to do that. I would not want to suddenly lift. I lifted a ladder, a metal ladder, not a wooden ladder, so lighter, a fairly lightweight. I think it's a 16-foot ladder. But it obviously wasn't opened all the way when I was moving it. I moved the ladder out to the tree because I got to cut off some growths on our palm tree, because there are pods that grow on it, and when they open up, it's beautiful, except the fruit that's on there falls off and rots in the heat, and then it just stinks and attracts wasps. Wasps goddamn love the fruit, the fallen rotten fruit from the palm tree. So I got to get up there and cut shit down before it gets bad. But just moving the ladder today to do that, I was just like, oh yeah, I could do this, no problem. And then when I was done cutting and using the saw, I went to go move the ladder back, and I was like, ah, fuck, okay, I gotta take my time with this shit. I mean, the solution would be to in my workouts, build up some weight training again. I don't have my. This is a thing that should be pretty obvious. When I moved here, I did not take my weight set with me. I had a like compact dumbbell set that I did not ship to South Carolina from New York. That is in storage in New York. I did keep it. I didn't throw it away. But yeah, I don't have my dumbbells down here. My mom has 3-pound weights that she uses for exercise. And I was just like, nah, I'm all right. I don't need to do that. Obviously, I could lift things without having traditional weights. I could buy weights. But the thing that honestly, I was not planning to talk about fitness at all here. One of the things that I should just start doing is more push-ups, and just using my own weight. Using what God gave me, which is all this mass, and using that to facilitate exercising. Swole Pat era coming. No, I mean, look, I would love to get to where I was 12 years ago. Oof. Uh-oh. Yeah, 12 years ago. 32-year-old Pat when I was like 225. Oof, that was great. 225 Pat. I was slim. I didn't lose much in my face, which was fine because I didn't care about that. But just like XL t-shirts looked a little big on me instead of looking stretched on me. And double XLs look comfortable. Like just that. Like it was good. It was hard work getting down there, but and if I could replace some of this weight with muscle instead of fat, yeah, that'd be pretty good. I'd be pretty happy with that. I'm always going to be a big boy. Like there's no getting around it. I would have to do something drastic beyond changing my lifestyle. I'm saying like I would have to do something if I was going to drop a lot of weight. Like if I was going to try to get under 200, if I was going to be 5'10", under 200 pounds, I would have to do something very unrealistic and unlikely for me. Yeah. Yeah, I'd have to do something that I'm not interested in doing. But eating healthier, eating less, those are things I could do. I could certainly do that. I could certainly change up my lifestyle, and I probably should sooner rather than later, because it's only going to get harder, because rebuilding my metabolism is going to be a very difficult thing to do. It's not impossible. It would just be difficult to do. So I don't know. I'd like to think that I could have the willpower to do it. I did drop weight. As I said, I went down from, I think I lost up and down like 50 pounds 12 years ago. And so like, yeah, it's possible. It's certainly possible that I could do it. And I could do it down here. My parents are very supportive. They would certainly help me out. It would be a lot of me like preparing my own meals, which I could certainly do. It's a little harder to prepare all your own meals when you're eating at the same time as other people. I have found, but I certainly could do that. One thing I did want to talk about tonight, I'm going to switch gears a little bit as I start working on one of the arms here, the shield arm of this kit, because we have finished the head. The head is done. All our stickers for this kit are done. As I move on to work on one of the arms, so you may know this, friends, that I did not participate in the plastic model kit, plastic model weekender. There's no kit in the name. PMW. I did not work on that. The weekender this year, I took the year off to allow room for other people, and because at the time, I was going to be participating in a big charity event with some different people. And I only really have in me to do one charity event a year. That is just for me. I want to focus on one thing instead of doing other things. So I stepped back because I was agreeing that I was going to take part in this other event. That other event was planned for the end of October. And it is not happening. This summer, we started getting word that things were not looking good about it getting organized, that some people were stepping away from working on it, that, hey, don't start promoting this just yet. We're going to reevaluate a few things. We're going to figure out some of the other things. We're going to make this work. We're going to make this work. We are not making this work. So I find myself wanting to do a charity event this year because it means a lot to be able to do those things and help people, and not having an avenue for that. So I think I'm going to do something next month on my own, which of course it's not bad. Any little bit helps, right? I have a great community here. Hey, Lord Crashton, I have a great community here. I have people that support what I do, even if they're not here live, that might be interested in it. Word of mouth could get out about it. I could do all right. Being part of a larger collective where your collective action certainly works better than individual action, but let's not discount individual action. So then it comes down to, well, what am I going to do? I know in my heart of hearts, a thing I can do. I can always do whatever, and I will put the call out, and I will be passionate about it. And during the event, I will do an incentive where I'll open packs of trading cards and collectible cards because that is a thing that people respond to. They like that. That is an incentive for group collective, because it's not, hey, if you donate $10, then I'll open a pack of cards. It's no, for every blank amount raised, I will open a pack of cards. So it is something that people can do collectively together. Your $5 just gets $5 towards the next goal. I can do that. I can do incentives and all of that. I'm pretty good at that. But the thing that comes down to is, all right, so I kind of understand about that. Picking a date, that's easy. I can just do it during one of my regular streams, start early one of those days. I can pick another day. I'm thinking of taking a Saturday off. So what if I did a stream that Friday and then had that Saturday off? That would be nice. So that way I was doing a Thursday, Friday, and then took Saturday off. You know, like, okay, that makes sense. That could work. But what's the hook, Pat? What's the hook going to be? And I tweeted about this the other day, because I think I know what the hook is. And I would like your feedback in chat, what you think of this particular idea. But so if I was going to do a charity event stream on my own, I would pick a charity that is on Tiltify. Go through Tiltify, a great service. They work really well. They have a long list of different causes and organizations that work with them that are on the list. They're easy to set up a page to donate for. I've worked with Tiltify before. I'm confident I can use that and set up a page, no problem. Okay. So I was looking at various things that are on Tiltify, because I obviously, next step, if I'm going to use Tiltify, got to pick a service. Not a service, I got to pick a charity on Tiltify. The Worldwide Fund for Animals is on Tiltify. Formerly known as the World Wildlife Fund, the World Wildlife Fund, the WWE, the Worldwide Fund, WWF, I should say, the Worldwide Fund for Animals is there. You may know them as an organization and a magazine that raises awareness and money to help animals throughout the world, animals on verge of extinction, animals fighting back from assumed extinction, to help prosecute illegal poaching across the world, a lot of awareness and all that. The WWF had an agreement with the World Wrestling Federation that was broken repeatedly by the World Wrestling Federation, eventually took them to court, which eventually led to the WWF becoming the World Wrestling Entertainment, the WWE, and getting the F out. So my thought was, what if I did a wrestling themed charity for the Worldwide Fund for Animals? I think that's a gimmick. What I want to hear from you, I want to hear if that is a thing where you're like, oh, or if you're just like, Pat, this is blank stares. I do not get why that is interesting or unique that you would be playing wrestling video games and doing a wrestling themed stream for a charity about animals. Like, please tell me in chat if you're just like, oh, I see what you did there, or if you're like, no, Pat, I do not see what you did there. Because I do fear that it will fly over people's heads and not be this like kind of clever thing I think it is. The actual what I would do on the stream would probably be what I've done before. I have WWE 2K24. We're going to run a bunch of CPU versus CPU matches. I got a bunch of wild card characters. We got a bunch of characters in the game. If you donate, you can say in your message on Tiltify, you can say, oh, you should have this versus this. Or you should put some people in a steel cage match or whatever. That kind of thing. And then having, again, the goal of every so often we hit a certain goal and I open a pack of cards. I got a bunch of cards left over from not this year, but last year when I did Plastic Model Weekender, because I did not want to use those cards for something that was not charity. So they've been sitting in a bag waiting for me. And I would get more cards as well. I wouldn't just use what I have there. I need G4 here. So yeah, let's see. I see what you did there, says Aristofan. Good. Lower Crasher says, chugging pilk and WWE CPU matches. I don't know if I would do a punishment challenge. It's possible that if we hit our goal, I would do that. I don't know if that's going to happen. David says, would you make incentive levels where you reenact famous promos? Mainly Macho Man ones. David, that's a lovely idea. Yes, there'd be some incentives of like, oh, we've hit this amount of goal. It's time for another promo. I think that's, yeah, I could see the like every $25 raise cumulatively, I open another pack of cards, and then like every whatever, I open a pack of cards, and I also, like every $100, I read a famous promo, and I'll have a bunch of them, you know, listed and ready to go. That is a really fun idea. Promo incentives. I'm literally writing that down because I like that. Bobby Dice Roller, subscribe with Prime. That's 44 months. Thank you so much, Bobby. Let's do the Bear Cave Lego site, Tier 2, Blue Emote in chat. Thank Bobby Dice Roller so much for the continued support. Appreciate you. We are now at 28 subscribers. The goal is to get to 50, or sorry, 40. We'll roll it down to 40. The goal is to get to 40. I shut up at 40. Thank you so much, Bobby. Appreciate that very much. But yeah, let's throw some emotes in the chat if you were a subscriber. David, I do like that idea. I think that is a fun idea. But yeah, so I think I'm going to do that in October. Again, date not set in stone. I do have to make a bunch of decisions going forward if that's something I want to do. But the idea of not doing a charity event this year kind of bummed me out when it became clear that the group that I was working with was not going to do an event. I will not get into any specifics about that in case they do try to bring this up, because it was very cool and it was a very fun idea, and it's some people I know are involved in it. I will say that me doing a charity event for the Worldwide Fund for Animals is at least in keeping with, in some ways, keeping with the what we would have accomplished in the doing that charity event. At least would have been close to it. It's a similar charity, so it would have felt right if I had done that. All right, we got this part together here, getting some of our arm together, getting ready here. I'm going to wait and panel line this once it's all together. Now we'll work on the shield, the shielding kind of thing. This is not a full Zaku 2 shield. It is like a pauldron that is on the side, kind of. But it does look cool, so we will build that. All right, so that wants to go into there. That wants to go into that. And then those connect. What order does that make sense? So you want me to put this there first and then snap that together. Okay, I guess that's what you want. You want that to go in there before that goes in there. That makes a lot of sense. All right. We'll figure this out. Figure out this shoulder thing here. But yeah, I mean, again, I have to really do some soul searching on this. I do think it's a funny idea. I would imagine, look, if I get a, hey, stop raising money for us thing from them, I don't think that I am big enough for the Worldwide Fund for Animals to even notice that I am doing shenanigans like a wrestling-themed fundraiser for them. I'm certainly not the first person to think of this. I guarantee you I'm not the first. I'm also probably not the last person to be like, oh, yeah, the connection there. Ha, ha, ha. But I do think that's a pretty fun idea. And, yeah, the WWE thing, like playing the game, running CPU for CPU matches, cutting promos, that'll be fun. Trying my best to do Macho Man promos and do the oh god, could I even do the Steiner Math promo? I bet I could. I bet I could do the Steiner Math promo. There's a few of them out there that I bet I could do. I bet I could pull off a few of them. We'll see. Lord Crashing wants me to hit the dance button. I will hit the dance button in just a moment. Let me just get this piece in there. Thanks for hitting that dance button or using the channel points so that I hit the dance button. Here is the dance button. Oh, yeah. Let's get inspirational. Boom. Fuck. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we did it together, everybody. We saved the rec center. It does. That beat does feel like a young lady is about to sing about how the summer was cool and we're gonna live forever or whatever. And then there'll be a breakdown, and then there will be a rap segment from somebody who is just featured on the song to rap a little bit. And then it will go back to singing about how this was the best summer ever and we're always going to be friends or whatever that. I don't know. There's something like high school motivational about that particular jam. Jam? Yeah, we'll go with jam. All right, let's get this together here. Let's see. This got to go. Okay, so this has to pop together like that. All right. Pop that together. Neat. And then that's in like that. And then this goes like this. And then this goes like this. Hell yeah. All right. And this is going to pop in, but we'll build the rest of the arm. We'll pan align the parts of the arm that need it, and then we'll attach the shoulder to it. But let's get the rest of this arm together here. News of the world. We've been chatting a bunch of stuff here. We can get into some video game news. Let's see. Oh god, this is a wild fucking update. This is a wild update to a previous story. As you are aware, nobody gets to play Concord anymore because not enough people were bought and were playing Concord, and Sony was just like, hey, guess what? No more Concord. You don't get to do this anymore. We don't want to pretend. We don't want to have a live service game that is doing badly. So we're just not going to have a live service game anymore. We are officially taking our ball and going home with it. And I'm sure a lot of people were like, okay, well, now Concord is just a punchline. It is just a joke. There is now a worse Redfall, and we'll just kind of leave it at that. The game has been in development for quite some time, and it is, it's been in the works, and one could assume that a Sony game would do very well. A Sony game on PS5 that was also on PC one could imagine that even if it wasn't going to do great, it would do well enough, and then they would like make it free. They would have DLC, but make the base game free for PS Plus, and that would bring a lot of people into the game just to see what was going on, or they do free weekends to encourage people to check the game out, that they would support it, right? One would assume they would support it when one was shopping it around, because there's going to be an episode about the game based in the world of the game as part of the Secret Level anthology series coming to Amazon, which is fucking hilarious. Unbelievably hilarious. This is coming from a source that's not been officially announced. A source close to Secret Level has confirmed to IGN that the Concord episode is still going to air as planned. And that comes out in December, which will be about 3 months after the game came and went. Which is a fun thing because like that makes sense. Like that would probably be where they would have, one would assume 3 months in they would have something that comes out that people would be like, oh yeah, this is the big update, or this is the latest update for this game outside of the weekly video things, the video content that was coming out. There'd be something big around that time, and it would make sense to have some sort of, reveal or something that happens in that episode be referenced in the show, in the live service game that week, or something like that. The idea being, and of course this write-up I'm reading Kotaku would be like, oh, that could make sense. This would like be a move to like bring in some new players or kind of re-energize the fan base and all that. As Zach puts it in this write-up that I'm reading here on Kotaku, I imagine the plan was for the Secret Level episode featuring Concord to help market the game a few months after launch, expand the lore, and bring in new players. Now it will just be a ghost hanging around after a murder. Oofta. This is going to feature 15 episodes based on 15 different video games, including Armored Core, God of War, Spelunky, Sifu, and Unreal Tournament, among others. I can understand. My guess would be, obviously money changes hands, but I would imagine that this episode based on Concord comes about in order to get Sony properties that Secret Level wanted to have, like that kind of thing of like, well, can you do something with this because it's new and only been out for a few months, so this will be good for us and all that. But now it's just very fucking funny. Now it's like, hey, there's going to be an episode of Secret Level on a video game that you can't fucking play. And not because it's like a hidden gem or a cult classic, because the servers don't work because the game fucking bombed. Oof. Fucking wild. Wild and cool. Apparently Star Wars Outlaws is not selling as well as people were fucking hoping it would. And it is, as some people would call it, kind of like a fun mess. I will tell you that I have no interest in Star Wars Outlaws because it seems like there is a huge amount of that game is stealth missions, and that makes me not want to play it. I'm not here for extended stealth missions. That's just not. I'm not that kind of gamer. I'm not that gamer boy. If you're telling me undercover, don't get caught, Hitman stuff, sure. I think I can get down with that. I obviously enjoyed about Hitman, the Hitman universe. But if it's like, no, you got to stealth around this whole thing and don't get caught because it'll reset everything and there's no other way to do it. You can, eventually you'll be strong enough to be able to stop this shit. But right now, you just got to fucking grin and bear all of it and get good at stealth. Like, are there also escort missions? And are there stealth escort missions? Because what are we fucking doing here? I don't know. Maybe y'all, maybe you're playing it, maybe you're loving it. You can tell me in the second hour all that. But yeah, I don't know. That part of it made me go, I think I'm okay. I think I'm all right at this point. I think I'll be okay. All right, we got an arm done. We don't have a chest, so we have nowhere to put this arm. But we finished an arm, and now we work on t'other arm. Speaking of not playing a game, this fucking sucks. Let's see. Was there an update here? No. Nope, there was not an update. Holy shit, there wasn't an update. I was looking to see if this had an update. And it hasn't been. Holy shit. Okay. So, there's a new test drive coming out. Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown is coming out. And like many video games, you can pay to play it early. You can pay a bunch of money to play it early. Except in this case, good fucking luck, because the servers have been very bad. So you could pay them a lot of money to not play the game early and instead have a bad time, which sucks. Just sucks. $90 gold edition. So you would have to pay $90 to play it early, and good luck. This is the first Test Drive Unlimited game since 2011. I have heard very mixed things about it. Some people having fun, some people having just no time. Makes sense when their Steam Neckfest demo was unplayable due to server issues, says Lord Crashington. I was unaware of that. That makes it, like, both make sense and also even worse. If they, like, had troubles with the demo, you think they would, like, put on all, like, bust out everyone, all hands on deck. We can't have a bad launch because we just made a very bad impression with our demo. Nope. Okay, the people gave us money, just can't do it. So they were supposed to be able to start playing on September 5th, which again is 2 days ago, Thursday the 5th, because the game is coming out on the 12th. So this gives them time. KT Racing said it was live, and then in the post they made, the blog post they made, like, hey, the game is live, they immediately were like, also, there's some stability issues that we apologize for. Connection issues, I should say. And then the next day they were like, our team are working tirelessly to stabilize these servers so that everyone can enjoy the game as soon as possible. And they listed a bunch of stuff they were doing, trying to figure out the problem, optimizing things, increasing service capacity, quality assurance, doing testing of the new servers so they don't deploy servers that don't work right, which has happened to other people. And then also they were like, it hasn't helped enough. And then they were like, hey, we're still working on it. We're doing our best. And that was yesterday. I should mention, this article does say this. I didn't know this ahead of time. This game is always on. There is no offline mode. So you could have spent $90 to play this game a week early, to not play it at all, with no alternative except hoping that the servers work well enough and you get in, you can play, because you can't play it in offline. Many reporting this is people. This is mostly on Reddit and Twitter and such, saying can't complete races against each other. Only can drive around the open world. Can't get the game to load. There are a lot of glitches, error messages, never-ending loading screens, and again, until the servers get worked out, you can't play it. I should also say the game's official launch is the 10th. Apparently, there was another version called the Silver version where you could play on the 12th, and you could play on the 10th. And so more people are going to try to start playing this game on the 10th, assumedly, and good luck to them. I'm laughing a bit, but it's not funny. It's a fucking bummer for people that spend a bunch of money and don't get to play the game. Yeah. I would say if you were like, oh, I'd like to play this game a few days early, you should just wait because shit has not gotten better. Again, I was waiting for the story to be updated on the weekend, and it did not. Maybe we should stop with the early access tiers. Yeah, I would say like. Also, some of the updates they've had to make mean that means that they were going to have to wipe progress for some people in order to update some of the server stuff, which doesn't seem because your saves are server side or something. Some of them are. It seemed really busted. Yeah, I would say WWE 2K24 worked fine. I was able to use the DLC I got for pre-ordering or for buying the expensive version. I got everything worked. Everything played fine. Uploading creator wrestlers, making creator wrestlers, all that worked. That was a good experience. Was it $100? Good. You know, all the I bought the DLC basically all at once, along with the game. I don't necessarily think I'm going to do that again, just to have the game a few days early, but it did work. And like the DLC has been fine, but I don't need the DLC, especially since one of the DLCs is like a bunch of dudes that are on a podcast or a TV show that I don't care about because they're just the friends of Pat McAfee. So it's like, I'm fine. Pat will probably end up in a match here or there at some point on one of my streams, but I wasn't like, oh, I've got to do this. I've got to have Pat McAfee on my squad. I'm not particularly chuffed by it. This kind of thing seems like a clear candidate for a GB Please Stop award. Yes, this is a GB, this is a hey don't. This is a Nextlander like bad news of the year. This is a thing that like on Tuesday Jeff's going to talk about it and like just be like, what the fuck? What are we even fucking doing here? Yeah. Yeah, I think we gotta like take a break there. Pat McAfee versus the Ugly Marios. Indeed. Yeah, Pat will get into the mix along with what's the next? Let me look this up. WWE 2K24 DLC season pass. We just had 3. Season Pass 4 comes out September 18th. So I will probably not get to that this month, but we will get to that in October. Kyrie and Jade, yes. Jade Cargill, Nia Jax, Michelle McCool, Carlito, Kyrie Sane, Lyra Valkyria, Dragon Lee. That is the pack. This is the global superstars. In this case, Carlito, Kyrie, and Lyra and Dragon Lee, I guess, count as global. Michelle McCool just didn't fit anywhere else, but probably was in some kind of negotiation with the Undertaker stuff because that's his wife. Kyrie should have probably been in the base game. Nia possibly should have been, but that came back during this year, so I guess that makes sense. And getting Jade in there now is good. America is on the globe. You're not wrong. Dragon Lee being in there is awesome. And then, honestly, the most exciting pack, the ECW pack was cool. It was cool to have the ECW pack. Probably a bit more exciting for some people is the WCW pack coming in on December 5th. Or not, November 13th, sorry. Diamond Dallas Page, Iron Sheik, Mr. Perfect, Great Muta, Lex Luger. So, and we've talked about this before, we'll talk about it again. Calling him Mr. Perfect instead of Kurt Hennig is hilarious in the WCW pack because he was Kurt Hennig in WCW. He was in WCW. It checks out, but it's very silly. Iron Sheik was in the WCW, certainly not known for that. Lex Luger was in both as Lex Luger. Totally makes sense. Great Muta makes sense. He was in WCW. Diamond Dallas Page, of course, makes a lot of sense. It's the one thing is they're not even calling him Mr. Perfect. They're not even calling him Kurt Hennig. You know, Mr. Perfect, quote unquote, Kurt Hennig. They're just literally calling Mr. Perfect. That is silly to me. That is a silly bit of business. They're having a goof there. It's like, all right, God, all right, okay, all right, y'all. But still a cool folks that I'm excited to have playable. And I like a lot of the Global Superstars pack. Is it going to be Dark Carnival Muta? I mean, I am sure that someone will do that costume and you can get that going. Jade, happy to have in the game. Nia being in there means that the sliders will allow for even bigger gals, and that's good. That's just good for the game to have that. Carlito, Kairi Sane will open up a lot of good moves that are in the game and some tag stuff that will be good. Remember that Kairi Sane also, they better include the secret entrance where if Kairi Sane is a champion, she has a belt in a briefcase. Or sorry, in a treasure chest instead of carrying it out, she has it in a treasure chest because that shit rules, and they kept it in the game when she wasn't in the game, and that's awesome. And Dragon Lee's entrance song is pretty fucking good. It's one of the better of the not so great songs that have come out of this generation of WWE. It's pretty solid. So it's like, all right, yeah, it could be good. Let's build the spiky shoulder incarnation here. Oop, I got a comment on a YouTube video. Let me look at that real quick here. Make sure I don't want to get rid of this. Okay, great. It's a positive comment, so I will leave it alone and give it a thumbs up later. But I don't want, if it's a negative comment, I don't want that in there. Get out of here. I don't need negative comments on my YouTube videos about anime that people should watch. I don't need that. But that also means somebody saw the video, which is good because I wasn't getting a ton of views on Kuma Baer, which we'll talk about in a bit in my self promo section. But the fact that someone watched it, that's real good. I'm glad. Have you heard about this anime called Cowboy Bebop? Says Lord Crash. I know I didn't recommend Bebop in my stuff from the 90s because I was just like, yeah, I don't need to tell people to watch that. I felt a little silly enough being like, you should watch the Big O, but also people should watch the Big O. How are we doing numbers wise on this one? Oh, well, okay. Better. Not as good as last week's, but that video did better than any of them. That's still the best of it. 240 views for Kuma Baer on YouTube. That's good. It's not as good as I would like, but oh, you're guessing what Commodore would recommend. Okay. 521 is still the best of any of the Kuma Baer videos. Nanan Biori also did very well at almost 500. I'll take it. Flying Witch did really well, and that's great. Nobody watched Place to Place video, which is okay. But yeah, some of these are in the high 400s. That is kind of the average, not the average, but that is if people watch them, they do about 400 something, or they do 100 something, or 4 people watch it. I don't understand it, and it doesn't make any sense because I release them on YouTube at 2 p.m. ish. So I do it at the same time every week on Wednesday, and I just have no idea if it's going to hit or not. I just have no idea how it works, what works. I thought at first, the only ones that don't do well are the ones that have Japanese words in the title. So if I cut that out, it'll work out better. And that has not been the case because I've had ones that Bartender Glass of God, nobody watched that. Nobody watched the Place to Place one. Yeah. There are just some that just don't seem to do well at all. And that's frustrating, but I don't have the science to figure that out. Is this the right polycap? This should be E. I don't think this is E. I think this is the wrong polycap. Yeah, I don't know what polycap this is, but it's not, looking at it, this is not the right shape. I think this might have been an A. I'll put this aside. I should have some extras anyway, but this was not closing up, and then when I looked closely, I realized it's not the right polycap. Yeah, I haven't done a episode of Kuma Baer where I'm like, leave a comment with yours. Like, I only have a minute, and so I say my name and I say the name of the series twice, and that is the most I give outside of just talking about the thing, and also where you can find it. That is very important to me because I'm recommending shows, and I just want to. I don't want people to have to Google it. I want them to go to the site that I say go to watch it, and then they can check it out there. All right. I won't attach this yet because I haven't panel lined the arm yet, but this cool spike shoulder is done. The shield is done. That whole arm is done. We are making some good progress. We did a head and 2 arms so far, and we'll get into more of that after these brief messages from yours truly. This is the pause for the cause. This is my time to remind you that there are many ways in which you, the viewer, right now can support what I do here. Everything I'm about to talk to you about is optional. You're under no requirement and no real pressure to do any of the things that I'm going to mention here, but it's only right for me to mention them. If you are currently a subscriber to the Build with Bear Workshop, you can let the people know by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 Blue emote, if you're a Tier 2 subscriber, much like Mjan just did. Hi, Mjan. Throw the emotes in the chat. Let the people see them. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. If you have your Amazon Prime link with your Twitch, you get that token. You can use it like Bobby Dice Roller did tonight, which is awesome. Being a subscriber, again, an easy way if you want to support me financially because you're already here. Please, if you are going to sub to me, don't do it through the Twitch app. Go to a website, do it there, save yourself some money. It is September, I should remind you. New subscribers can save 25% off a sub, and it gets exponentially higher. I'll bring up the thing of September. Here's the September thing. There's a promotional code until October 1st where you can save money in the store. You can save 25% off 1 sub, 25% off a 3-month sub, 30% off a 6-month sub. If you want to buy 6 months worth of subscription, you can save a lot of money there. Later in the month, there'll be cheer. If you do 300 cheer, there'll be extra. They'll chip in extra. And then for every 5 gifted subs, there'll be an added gifted sub towards the end of the month. That's the shortest period there. But for you right now, if you want to gift a sub, you could do that. There won't be any additional things in that outside the window. But if you want to gift a sub and join the gift sub leaderboard or give some bits, without bonus bits, you could do that right now. Again, easiest way to support me is to do those things because you're already here. If you haven't hit the follow button, why not hit that follow button? And you'll know when I go live next. And you'll be able to come and watch one of these chill model kit building streams. I also have a Patreon. If you do not want to you don't want to put any money into Twitch, I fucking get it. I understand. Consider joining me on Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear at the $1, $3, $5, or $10 tier. There are different rewards for different tiers. Consider joining me on Patreon. It's pretty great. My $3, $5, and $10 patrons have voted on what I'm doing next Tuesday because the second Tuesday of every month, they decide what I'm going to do. I'm going to quickly just jump over and see what they have decided I am doing. Let me quickly look at that. What decision did they make? The voting is in, and next Tuesday, I will be doing some tier maker lists. For the second time on stream, I'll be hitting up Tier Maker. So it's not a video game, but it will be maybe there'll be gaming list. Well, we'll go through a bunch of lists and I will rank things, and I will go and look in my history to make sure that I'm not re-ranking things I did from the last time, like the AEW. I think I did the AEW roster. So maybe I'll do a WWE wrestling one. I don't know. I'll look through it. But I think we did like capital cities or something, like places to visit. We did a bunch of things. And it'll be a fun night of me ranking things and you deciding if you agree or not in the comments. That's next Tuesday. But my patrons decided that's what I was going to do out of the options presented to them. Another way to support me financially is to go to YouTube, youtube.com/PatBaer, and hit the subscribe button for free. Obviously, subscribing free. There's a membership over there. If you want to become a member on YouTube for just $2 a month, you get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So you get a little bit of an advantage over other folks. You get to see that stuff before before other people get to see it, which is kind of fun. So you would have seen my video on Kuma Baer a day early. More on that in a little bit. Those are monthly ways to support me. If you just want to do a one-time donation, if you would just like to help me out financially, just once instead of a monthly thing, I have a Ko-Fi and I have a PayPal. And everything I make from direct donations, YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out, Patreon and Twitch, I take all the money from that, put it into a fund, and from that fund I buy model kits. I have a backlog of stuff that I'm ready to work on. I have a new kit arriving in the mail tomorrow, I want to say, that looks pretty neat. The kit I'm currently working on right now, the Zaku 3, I didn't buy this kit. This kit was purchased by Chris. Shout outs to Chris. Chris bought this kit for me to build on stream, and it jumped the queue and became the thing I'm currently working on when I finished the last thing I was building, instead of something for my backlog. If you would like to be like Chris and buy something for me to build on stream, you could do so at Amazon.com. I have an Amazon wish list. In this wish list, I've got Lego kits and model kits. I have inexpensive kits. I have kits that are on sale all the time. I just put a knockoff kit on here, and it looks like, let's see. There is, wow, okay, this jumped in price, so I'm going to remove that. I put in this knockoff Lego spaceship thing, Galaxy Explorer, because I like building knockoff Lego, but apparently it has jumped in price. So I am removing that from the list. But there are other things on the list. Model kits, Lego sets, inexpensive kits, incredibly expensive kits, Pokemon and Digimon model kits, all kinds of different things, obscure-ish Lego sets, very popular Lego stuff. There is some knockoff Lego in there. I do have a few knockoff Lego things, like the Mold King. Mold King are the best knockoff Lego that I have seen outside of like nano block stuff, but like of the knockoff Lego or Mega Blocks, Mold King is the best. They have the Mold King model car Bat Sports Car. It's a Batmobile, but they don't call it the Batmobile. They call it the Bat Sports Car, which is great. That's on the list. I have a bunch of things on the list, including some gear at the bottom, because it's always nice to have some gear as an option. But yeah, if you see something on there that you'd like to see me put together, you could always buy it. It'll come to me in the mail. It'll jump the queue. I'll make a dedicated YouTube video about the thing that you purchased, and then I'll build it on stream, like I'm building the Zaku 3 because Chris bought it. I have a Throne wish list that is my alternative to Amazon. I need to update that again because it's been a hot minute since I did, but there's some gift cards in there and some gear and some such. They don't have a lot of model kits to even put up there, but I try my best because I know that it's important to have alternatives to Amazon. We'll get back to building really soon. Before that, if you want to support me in the most convoluted way possible that involves so many steps, and he is kind of a nightmare, go to USA Gundam Store. At USA Gundam Store, you can buy a gift card. They will send you a gift card code to your email. Then you can send me a whisper on Twitch, or a DM on Twitter, or a private message on Blue Sky, or on Mastodon with that gift card code. And then I will use that gift card code to buy something from USA Gundam Store, and then I'll build it on stream. Again, there are so many easier ways to support me financially than that, but it's still pretty cool to do. I have a Discord. If you want to support me but not spend any money, you can join my Discord. I post build photos at the end of every stream. People post stuff they're working on. The Discord is full of lovely individuals, and you are welcome to come hang out there. Wait, let me just check something real quick. Did I do this right? I did. Great. Okay. I have a... what do I have here? Oh, yeah. I have a couple of videos for you to check out. Pat Bear's Anime Club. The most recent episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club, I think, turned out pretty fucking good. It's me talking about some of the worst anime filler. I talk about a couple shows. I have 2 examples from one show. Some of the worst filler. And it's not just like, oh, this is nothing to do with anything, and it's poorly done, and it's clearly stalling for time. I'm talking like, these are reoccurring characters. They were bad the first time, and they brought them back, and they're anime only. I'm talking about, this is a nonsense thing that breaks the own continuity of the show. It breaks a emotional element of the series and then tries to retcon itself. What? Or, hey, this show has no queer characters. The anime, in an anime-only filler arc, introduced some queer characters. Hell yeah. Oh, they're tragic queer villains. Fuck off. So I get a little heated in this episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club. You should check it out if you like some righteous indignation and also talking about anime. I'll do an episode about good filler someday, because there is some cool filler out there. And I'll definitely do another, because I didn't even talk about Bleach or One Piece in this video. So I definitely gotta go back and talk about that. But like, I should in a video talk about how the driving school episode of Dragon Ball Z is pretty fucking fun and is lighthearted in a way that Dragon Ball Z isn't always, and was a little missing from an element of Dragon Ball that was a little missing from Dragon Ball Z, is the humor. So a goofy episode about Goku and Piccolo learning to drive is kind of welcome, all things considered. Like, I should make that video. Also, Kuma Baer. I talked about it before. Kuma Baer is my ongoing video recommendation series where every week I recommend an anime. There's a theme for every month. This month's theme is Isekai. So I talked about Kuma Baer. Kuma means bear, so that anime is called Bear. And it inspired the title of the video series, Kuma Baer. So please watch that so you can hear me talk about a pretty fucking goddamn chill isekai that also has some cool action and fun characters and is bear themed. I am going to talk about a manga that I have been reading, and then an anime that I have been watching. And we will get into that in just a moment. Before I talk about the manga that I want to read, or that I've been reading, I should say, and the anime that I've been watching, before I get into that, I will take a moment to dramatically transition to the overhead camera so we can panel line this, and also take a drink of water because I need it. And we'll do that right now. Sometimes a cold glass of water is just what the doctor ordered. All right. Let's talk about a manga that I have been reading while I panel line this arm and then finish this arm up and then move on to the backpack of all fucking things. Leave me alone. I want to enjoy cheat life with my familiar. That's right. It's another isekai. I've been reading this one. It is a fun isekai adventure series. Isekai means different world. We've got a girl named Mizuki. She uses that name in both in her original life and in her new life. Mizuki is an office lady. She is an overworked, working for a blackish company. She works really hard. She has really fucking nothing going on outside of it other than like her parents' animal that she goes and spends time with, and that's really it. So she wakes up in another world. We don't get into the why or the how. We don't know. Sometimes we know in these stories. We don't know in this case. Mizuki is just in a different world. And she runs across a Fenrir because this is a show where she has a magical, incredibly powerful familiar. And so, of course, that familiar is going to be a mythical beast because it's always a fucking mythical beast. And this mythical beast is just like Vash. Unfortunately, she is not a popping sugar rabbit. Mizuki from Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. There's unfortunately no relation to that Mizuki. But this Mizuki runs into this Fenrir, and the Fenrir is just like, "Hey, why is your magic so good? Why is your magic, like, appealing? Why do you have this scent on you that's so familiar and so engaging?" And then she's like, this wolf is talking to me. It's a Fenrir, not a wolf. Come on. And also, why does this Fenrir remind me so much of my childhood dog that I was thinking about not too long ago about getting home to see my folks and hang out with my dog? That's weird. Hey, I'm lost and I don't know where to go. And the Fenrir is just like, all right, make a contract with me. You seem neat. I don't know, you're a little girl. I'll help you out. Let's go. And she's like, all right, great. Tell me about this world. Also, are there any human towns around here? Because I'm probably going to need to figure this out. Now, you might be surprised by this. You might be shocked by this. The very first person that she meets is a guy who's like, hey, what the fuck's going on with this? Whoa, 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 whoa. What's up? What's up with this magical beast? And she's just like, I made a contract with it. He's cool. But our guy quickly gets over it and is just like, what? Well, come with me. I'll help you out. We'll take you to the guild. You can stay with me. He's an A-rank adventurer who seems very nice. She meets the guild master. He's just like, Fenrir? Huh. Well, you can't be bad if a Fenrir wants... You must be pretty cool if a Fenrir wants to hang out with you. And like... She meets the guild master's assistant, the vice president or vice guild master, who she like totally reads as being like a sadist that is trying to be a normal person, and she's just like, "Oh, yeah, I mean, I could see in your eyes what's going on here, but you seem okay." She's also a child saying this, like, and she just kind of instantly bonds with all these people, and they're suddenly just like, yeah, we got to look after this girl. People are going to be assholes about this. They're going to try to kidnap her. When they find out that she's tamed a magical beast, they're going to want the beast. They're going to, wait, she can use recovery magic? That's legendary. What? She can use all kinds of magic at her age? That's ridiculous. We need to make it our mission to look after this girl and protect her. And that's almost every character in this anime. Characters in this anime, or sorry, manga. I gotta be clear about this. Characters in this manga either want to protect her against all threats in this world, instantly want to protect her life, or want to kidnap her. And there's almost no way. There are so few characters that are just like, okay, later. She meets a prince and she is just like, well, I'm probably gonna have to leave this country because there's no way I'm gonna be nice to this kid because he's a fucking asshole. But in giving him tough love and talking to him, because he ran away from the royal court to go meet her, when the king shows up and is just like, "What's up? Where'd my son go?" He apologizes for not telling them where he was going, and the king's just like, "Wow, my son is growing up, Mizuki. Why don't you come to the live in the royal castle?" And she's just like, "No, thank you. I don't want to do that." Which I think is awesome because she's just like, "Nope, I have boundaries. I know that this is not going to go good for me." I haven't even brought up the fact that, hey, guess what? There's also a Pegasus. Sorry, not a Pegasus, a Phoenix. There's a Phoenix. There's a little Phoenix friend that shows up. It's very good. There are some parts where I'm like, uh-oh, things aren't going great. They work out, which is nice. She is nice to a bunch of people that never expect to have anything nice happen to them. It is just a fun series. It's not fully light. It is not like a chill series at all times. There are some action. It is a pleasant action series. And that is important to note for people because some people would look at this manga and go, "Oh, this is like the healing power of animals." And it's like just really fun. For that, you want to read Isekai Cafe, which I've talked about previously, because that's a series about a guy who accidentally gets killed by a god, and the god is like, "I'll send you in a fantasy world. What do you want for cheat powers?" And the main character says, "I would like to be able to hang out with fluffy animals." And he was like, "Tamer, I guess?" And that is just about him, including a Fenrir, having legendary beasts at an animal cafe and he's trying to convince people that there are such things as cute monsters. That's just pure joy and chill vibes and cool times. They just introduced a nobleman who is mad because he wants to buy one of our guy's animals. But that is the first time that we've been introduced to that. Everybody else is chill as fuck in that series. This, again, leave me alone. I want to enjoy cheat life with my familiar. There are some ups and downs. There is some drama in it. But it is mostly pretty chill and fun. So yeah, check that one out if you would like. Over on the anime front, let me tell you about Dungeon People. On High Dive, we are in episode, I wrote this down where my notes say, episode 9. Episode 9, I believe, of 12. I do not believe there are going to be a bonus episode here. I haven't done that yet where I've looked up to see exactly how many episodes are left on any particular series. All right, so I need to build the side extensions for this. So we'll build that. I need H's and polycaps A. So we'll get some polycap A's. Add some H parts here. This is a story of Clay, a member of the Thief Guild who has been exploring dungeons, trying to find out information about her father who disappeared many years ago as an adventurer, to at least track down what happened to him, if he passed away, or if he's trapped somewhere, or if he just moved on and didn't fucking tell her. She wants answers. Along the way, she has been hired to work in a dungeon, and a lot of this anime, which certainly has its action, including action in this episode, a lot of this anime is action, but it is mostly the inner workings of a dungeon and how that makes sense and how a dungeon town could build up on that. And we do more of that world building here because we deal with the current new king of the country that is built on trading and making use of the dungeon. Apparently, the prince is the new king. The king is stepping down. And Clay is a little worried from what she knows about this particular prince, him not being ready for it. And then they are on their way to go meet with this prince, Clay and Belle, because, or the new king, because years ago at the foundation of the kingdom, her master made a deal with that king. And they made a contract. And there's a mutual beneficial contract between them. But now there's a new king. So they need to make a contract. Basically, he can, with his forces, try to take over the dungeon. Instead of having a mutual beneficiary agreement between the two of them, part of that agreement is that, you know, the next king can change it up if they want to. And since the new king can't go there, they have to go to the king, which makes sense. It does make sense. So they have to go visit the new king and see what's up with him. Belle and they dress up Clay like a maid. The idea being that they don't want to reveal that she is a human who is working for the dungeon, yet that is also still a member of the guild and all that. So they decide they're going to dress her up, and this is Rangard's idea. That is important for later, that Rangard is like, oh yeah, you should go as a maid. They travel to there. They meet Haim, who is one of the king's guides, and they are sent to an arena. And the king shows up with his guards, and the guards are like totally underestimating Belle and Clay, and so they're acting like assholes about it. Lungrant, who is the new king, he brought along like the fiercest warriors in the kingdom, and he was like, "Yeah, I got this. This is going to be a fucking piece of cake. No problems here. We're going to make this happen. I am going to subjugate the dungeon master, and then I will be in charge of the dungeon." So Belle starts fighting with a couple swordsmen, and so I was like, I got a little excited about this. I was like, oh, this will be fun. We haven't seen Belle fight in a while. You know, there will be a lot of, she'll take it easy on them, and then there'll be a lot of back and forth, and then eventually she'll prevail over them, and that'll be kind of fun episode. No, she just whoops all their asses. She's like not breaking a sweat, not trying hard at all. The anime was just like, what if it's just really easy for her to do all this? Because it ends up being very easy. Lungrant realizes, shit, I believe I am going to lose. Meanwhile, we learn from Belle's internal monologue that her master was like, hey, if and when you have to fight the next king, the way to do this is to subjugate these people. Otherwise, they'll never learn. You have to crush their spirits. You have to fan the enemies. Because the only way they'll honor a contract is the contract is if they actually fear that you could just destroy all of them very easily. So you have to overwhelm them. So that's where we're watching. We are watching them be fucking overwhelmed. Lungrant remembers the rules based on what his father told him, and he's like, oh wait, we can play a little dirty here. Like, we don't have to focus all our attention on the Dungeon Master. So he tells Haim was the person that guided them there to attack Clay, because he just assumes that, oh, that's just a maid, that'll give us the upper hand. And of course, Haim cannot handle Clay at all. And then Lungrant is just like, okay, well, we surrender. We'll do this contract your way, and sorry about that. Hope there's no hard feelings. We had to try. You know we had to try. Shit. Oh, fuck. Okay. Well, that didn't go well. And that's it. That's not the end of the episode, but that's about it. Before they leave, Lungrant, the new king, says like, hey. And asks Clay what her name is. And Clay tells Lungrant, my name is Rangard. You may remember Rangard is not her name. Rangard is the name of the monster that encouraged her to wear a maid uniform. And at first I was like, oh, that's fun that she's like getting him back for that. Like she's just like, oh yeah, well, I'll just fucking say it's your name. But then we learned that the Thieves Guild is investigating Rangard. So they wanted to know who she was, and they're using the Thieves Guild to investigate her. And that's why she gave a fake name. It wasn't just as revenge. It's because she didn't want them to know what her real name is to track her down and investigate her. So she gave a fake name, but she didn't give a made-up name. She just gave somebody else's name, which is not great, but is what happened. And so she's like, yeah, we got to apologize to Rangard. He's going to be mad. Because apparently Rangard will be very mad at Belle. Probably won't be mad at Clay, but will be mad at the boss. And that was, I think, a pretty damn good episode of Dungeon People. It gave me what I was kind of hoping for, which is a little more action. Like, it wasn't a lot of Clay action, which I think is great. I mean, there are three things I want from this anime. Myself, being selfish, there are three things that I would like from this anime. Talking about the logistics and the inner workings of a dungeon. That's fun shit. All of that stuff is very fun. I like it very much. We got some of that tonight. In this episode, I should say. Clay doing cool shit. We didn't get a lot of that in this episode because it's mostly a Belle-focused action episode, but we did get some. And the third thing that I like from this series, or I want from this series, is moving the plot along about Clay figuring out what happened to her dad. And we didn't get any of that in this episode. We've gotten a little bit. That's the thing we get the least. That is the thing that I would like more of as this story continues. I would like them to dive deeper into that stuff because I think that stuff is really engaging and really interesting. So I would like more of that, please. But still, fun episode. If you are not watching Dungeon People, it is available on High Dive. I think it is worth your time and energy because I think it is a pretty fucking dope series that I think touches on a lot of cool, like, world building of this, like, dungeon with a lot of fun characters in it. A lot of good minor characters and around. Plenty of good gags throughout. It's one of my favorite series of the season, which I will, of course, be talking about next month on Kuma Baer when I talk about my favorite shows for the season, where one of them I can't talk about because I've already talked about it, or I will have already talked about it because it's a show I'm talking about in September. I guess I could do a different video, but I don't want to. All right. So this is going to go like that. I need one other piece here. We're finally working on we're working on this is the waist, right? Yeah. We're working on part of the chest here. Or part of the waist, I should say. Yeah, we're finally working on the waist and the chest. I'm going to finish this kit next stream on Monday. I won't finish it tonight, but I will finish it on Monday, I think. Or at least I'll get most of the way done on Monday. So I will do a poll for my $10 patrons tomorrow about what I should build next, be it Lego or model kit, because they have a say in the order that I build things. And again, I do believe by the end of Monday stream, I'll have wrapped this kit up because we're working on, various sections, getting these things together. Yeah, no, this is the chest. Okay, yeah. All right, yeah. So we just don't put it together fully until then, but we are building the chest here, and then we'll build the waist next. Okay. So we could, if we wanted to, start putting this kit together. All right, that goes like that. And that goes like that. And then there's one more piece. I don't love how this is just one big like, there's not a lot going on the chest here for my liking. I would like this to be a bit more complicated. But, you know, ain't the worst thing, excuse me, in the world. I just wish it was a little bit more detailed. I wish the chest was had a bit more going on, but not the end of the world. Now is the part of the stream where I want to hear from you. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you up to? What are you into? What do you got going on? I always like to hear from you about things and things. So let me know in the chat. Playing any video games, watching any TV or movies, you know, seeing anything in the theater or at home. I mean, I got a D&D session in on Friday that was very fun. A bunch of friends that we were playing together. We are currently investigating who is putting mimics into dungeons to look like monsters instead of chests. We were trying to figure out, unravel this plot. We are not doing it for the greater good or for, we are doing it because we got really freaked out by what turned out to not be an actual dragon, and we're pissed off. Most of our party is fucking furious. Some of our party is indignant, and that is enough for us to really want to figure this shit out and find out who is responsible for wasting our time and making us scared. My character assumes that this is an evil wizard doing this, perhaps even a lich of some sort. And that's mainly because my character wants to punch a wizard. According to him, it's satisfying to punch wizards. So he would like to figure out if this is some sort of evil wizard plot. But generally, having a very good time with some D&D nonsense. My current Hearthstone decks are not good, but they are not bad. I am doing fine in Hearthstone. I am still having a good time with it when I can play it. I'm not having the best time right now. I'm hoping the mini set will come out and be something that like has something going on in it that like appeals to me. That is my sincere hope, is that there's something in the mini set that will kind of shift the meta around, and that along with the mini set, the nice thing is when they do the mini set, they will then have to balance it and make some changes. And making those changes will theoretically also mean that they have to do some stuff to some other cards, which would be great because they already did a balance patch and buffed and nerfed some stuff, and it was not super effective. So I would love for them to be a bit more effective. Did I do this backpack right? I think I put these on wrong. I think I put these on the wrong way. Yes, and that's how it should go. Yes, okay. I did put these on wrong. I have fixed my mistake. So we were able to at least put the top half of this kit together, and now we'll get started on the waist, but we're not going to body complete this kit until Monday. So I definitely do have, but we are going to finish this between that and the weapons on Monday, so I will have to figure that out. I am going to, as I start getting this chest together, I will hear from you about what you're up to and what you're into, because I asked, and I am genuinely, I should say, not generally, genuinely always interested in reading what you have to say. Aristophan says, I've been playing a bunch of Astrobot, which is excellent, especially if you have nostalgia for PlayStation games. Yeah, there's some fucking obscure shit in there. There's a few references in there for like games that came out but only came out in Japan. Like there's some deep cuts in there. There's like a Double Fine thing in there that's like kind of wild. But yeah, it seems like some real deep cuts, which is fun. Aristovan says, I also finished that Lego pyramid. Yes, in the Discord. Aristovan posted photos of this cool-ass Lego pyramid that looks awesome. Just looks rad. Post some pics in the Discord. Yes, thank you, Aristovan, for posting photos in the build photos section. Always like to see that. And yeah, that's a cool-looking bit of business you got going on there. All right, I need G12 and G13. Okay. 12 goes here. Or sorry, 12 goes here, 13 goes there. Lord Crashington's been playing some Star Trucker for some good space trucking fun, though I started over on a custom difficulty with more of the systems turned down, so I get more of a chill experience. The default normal has you replacing batteries and fixing stuff way too often, and there are 2 difficulties above that. Yeah, Lord Crashington, the only thing I know about Space Trucker is Alex Navarro not fully enjoying his time with it because it is not what he wants, the backing up, and there's just some stuff that his brain does not enjoy about that game, which is a shame because it should be right up his goddamn alley, but it seems like it is not right up his goddamn alley, which is a bummer. But I'm glad that you're finding ways to make it work for you. That's great to hear. Bobby Dicerelli says, I've been playing Motel Manager Simulator because that's kind of where I'm at right now. It's janky and mindlessly fun, and the multitasking scratches an itch in my brain nicely. You had me until the janky part because I don't always myself love janky sims. I like my sims to kind of make some sense, but it does sound fun, and I am gonna copy that into my stream document so I can look that up later. Thank you for saying that, because I'll do that now. And maybe I'll take a look at what's going on with that. But yeah, yeah, I'm not necessarily one for the jank. It's not necessarily my thing. But I'm glad you're having a good time with it. It makes sense. Mostly it's kind of nice because it's a combination of gas station, convenience store, motel simulator. Oh, okay. That does sound fun. Yeah, all right. Well, that's neat. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yeah, as far as video games go, I didn't play a lot since Thursday. I just played Hearthstone because I do play Hearthstone every day. Okay, so this is this piece. Where do you go? There's like an arrow. And then the instructions are like, oh, they go here. Where do you go? I have no fucking idea where this is supposed to be. They're rockets from the butt. There's just like there's no track, there's nothing. Yeah, because it's like, oh, this goes here. Okay, so it looks at this, and then do they go up top? That doesn't make any sense. Let me look at the next part of the instructions here. Okay, so these rockets somehow live like here. They stick out of the side of the butt. But there doesn't seem to be any. Wait, oh wait, did they go like? That's so weird. This doesn't even feel like a very 2000s thing. This feels like broken. Like these would pop out really easily. This feels so weird. That's where that's how they attach. Wild. It's really jarring mechanic where you sometimes have to shoot robbers and put them in a barrel of acid. What the fuck? If you don't do that, then the cops ask you for a bribe to deal with the body. Very weird. That's worse than Home Alone, says Aristophan. That's weird as hell, Bobby. That's a weird thing that's in that game. That's a weird thing to find out. Okay, so how do I describe what this weirdness here? Okay. We'll get here. All right, you can see here, this piece looks like it's kind of floating. In actuality, there's this little ridge right here. And this piece has a tiny ridge here that doesn't go fully through. It only goes partially. Okay. It only goes partially through. And that slides in. And that's weird. So I was like staring at this going like, where is this supposed to go? How is this supposed to work? And it just kind of like slides in and kind of locks in place. And I'm like, I can imagine myself having to take this part off and then liquid cementing these in place, because I don't know if these are going to stand up, because it's so kind of shoddy. Maybe when it's all together, it suddenly works magically, but I don't fucking know. That seems not great. So it's a Breaking Bad simulator. Yeah, that does sound... It does seem like it's going for a wholesome game route, but also they were like, well, there's crime in it. That's interesting. Speaking of games, as we know, next week with Tier Maker, 2 weeks from now, I will be checking out the video game. I'm looking up the name of it because I don't remember the name of it. I'll be taking a look at the video game Europa. I am getting a code for Europa. It has not come yet, but the game is not out yet. I believe I am not getting a like review code. I am getting a like streamer code for when the game is live, which is fine. I am totally okay with that being how that's working, because they don't owe me anything. The fact that they want to send me a code is awesome. And then we'll be checking that out, not next Tuesday, but the following Tuesday, because I believe that game comes out next Thursday. So I'll be getting it then, and then I'll be able to stream it out. It is kind of a action-ish series that looks beautiful. Let me see. What do they describe it as? It says a Ghibli-inspired adventure series. It was announced at Indie World, its release date. Europa is coming out. Oh, sorry, that's coming out October 11th. So yes, next Wednesday it's coming out. So the following Tuesday, the 17th, I will be looking at it because I am getting a PC version for Steam. It is on the moon Europa, a lush terraformed paradise in Jupiter's shadow. An android named Z sets out searching for answers. Run, glide, and fly across the landscape. Solve mysteries in the ruins of the fallen utopia and discover the story of the last human alive. This is a former Overwatch and Diablo 3 art director put together a team for this. And it is published by Future Friend Games, who published 2 games we've literally streamed on this very channel, Summer House and Gordlets. So I'm excited for that because it seems pretty cool, and it's it seems like it's made by people that are pretty psyched about. Published by people that, you know, I have enjoyed their previous games on this very stream. Summer House was really fun. UFO 50's out in a week or so. I can't wait to play. Nice. I keep forgetting that's finally actually going to come out, because it feels like it's been something I knew about for forever. And that's not like me slighting them for taking a while to come out. That's just me being like, oh yeah, has there ever been a time where that game wasn't almost out? So that's good. Yeah, I forgot that was on its way. Monday stream, of course, we will do more model kit building. I'll finish this kit and I will start another kit. I don't know which one that is yet. My patrons will decide tomorrow. We'll talk about All Out, which is probably close to wrapping up at this point, if it's not over. I'll probably catch the last couple minutes of it, and then I'll watch the whole thing. And maybe, just maybe on stream, just maybe, I'll also talk about the Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling show that I'll be watching tomorrow night, which is happening. I believe it's starting at like midnight my time, so can't watch it yet. We made a lot of fucking so we started the stream with just the legs, and so we did the chest, the head, the arms, and the sheet and the backpack. This kit came together as a breeze. This was a breeze to put together. We did so much work on here. We almost completely finished the waist. We will definitely finish this kit up on Monday and start a new kit. Not even like by the end of the stream, like by the middle of the stream, this will be done. But we're going to wrap up there. I want to thank everybody for choosing to spend some time with me tonight. That means a lot to me. I appreciate you very much. I don't say that enough. I thank you for being here, but I don't thank you for, I don't get detailed about it. Thank you for spending some of your important time with me. It means a lot. I hope you had a good time. We are going to raid. That is how we end every stream around here. We're going to find someone doing cool shit and go spend some time with them. How long has... Ooh, a friend of mine who doesn't always stream on Saturdays is streaming. As John says, we always end with the raid. How long have you been streaming? Are you going to be done soon? You have been going for 2.5 hours. I feel like that my friend Lunar Jade, that means that she's going to be streaming for a little bit longer, maybe even just a half an hour or so. But she's only been going for 2.5 hours. So we're going to go raid my friend Lunar Jade, a.k.a. Heather. Heather rules. And Heather's playing Astro Boy, and that'll be a fun game to go check out. I know that she's having a very good time with Astro Boy, because she said so on the internet, and she couldn't be lying. Thank you so much for spending some time with me here on the stream. I hope you come on this raid, because it'll be a good time. I hope you come back on Monday for me finishing up this kit, starting a new one, talking about some anime, talking about some manga, talking about some wrestling. I'll talk to you all soon. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.